Good morning, Wildcats. Today is Thursday, April 9th. I'm Evangeline Trezera, and it's National Cherish an Antique Day. Stay tuned in because we're checking in on one of West Shore's oldest relationships. Welcome to WCTZ News. The class of 2028 will be selling Southern Caramel's gourmet handcrafted caramels and caramel apples from April 3rd to the 17th. These treats make a terrific gift for your mom on Mother's Day. See any 10th grader to place an order. Sales will end on Friday, April 17th, so get your order in before then. Anyone interested in being on the West Shore cheerleading team? There will be tryouts for next year's West Shore Cheer program on Tuesday, April 14th and Thursday, April 16th. These tryouts will take place after school in a gym from 3:45 to 5:30. Please make sure you have an updated physical file before tryouts. See Coach Hernan or Coach Riopel if you have any questions. Attention current and future swimmers. There will be an informational meeting tomorrow at the start of Power Hour. Now let's see the newest edition of Love at the Shore.
What's up, Wildcats? Welcome back to Love at the Shore. Today we'll be taking it a long way back in time with the Richardsons.
Well, it was very simple. In a land before time, after dinosaurs, before internet, we had to go out and go to dinners and drinking establishments and dance halls and hang out and talk to people. You had to talk to somebody one-on-one. There was no phones to search and see stupid things that whatever people do today.
Unlike this generation, these dinosaurs had to meet in person, and the Richardsons' love story began at a buddy's bar.
While I was there, she walked in. That is with your buddies.
With your friends.
And then I left, and then she asked my buddy, "Hey, what's the deal with that guy?"
After a first date at a fancy dinner, Mr. Richardson came back with the best news of his life.
I came home, and I told my mother that I had found the girl I was going to marry. And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yep, wait until you meet her." And
A few days later, I had him come over to my parents, and my dad wasn't home, but my mom was there, and my mom's sitting in the kitchen reading the paper, and he walks in and goes, "Well, hello, how nice to meet you," and she was like really impressed by Wes.
always get the mothers on your side. Pro tip.
Yeah. So we're leaving, and my mom walks us to the door, and it was springtime, and doors were open. We had a glass partial door, and all of a sudden she calls me, and she goes, "Laura." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I like this one." So it was really cute.
What made a simple first glance turn into a lifelong love story?
Well, besides his good looks, he just was friendly. He was nice to everybody, outgoing. He would talk to everybody. You know, you could just tell he treated everybody with respect, and he has a amazing sense of humor, which I really appreciated. And he's the guy. He was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have
Jokes and
as much fun or more today than the first day that we really started going out. It's just he's the love of my life.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can put it. He's the love of my life. So.
well, it was very simple. She laughed at my jokes.
Oh, stop.
And no, we could talk like it wasn't all superficial. It was great conversations about whatever, jobs and where we're off to,
Travel,
traveling.
things we like to do. I mean, we respected each other's space. I knew, like, on Sundays he loved to play volleyball with the guys. Or on a team, a fun team,
Yeah,
gotta go.
we were on a team.
I wasn't
We'd go down to the beach.
clingy, and I didn't say, "Oh, I gotta watch," and all that. I had my stuff going on, and we just respected each other, but we had a blast when we were always together.
Nervous to pop the question, Mr. Richardson found a way while visiting Mrs. Richardson's parents during spring break.
And we're sitting on the beach, and I kept saying, I kept looking at my watch and saying, 9 o'clock. I'm going to ask her. 9 came and went. 10 o'clock. It was going to be 10 o'clock. Then that came and went, and finally I was like, okay, high noon, we're doing this. And I just said, hey, you think your parents would be okay if I took you off their hands? And she goes, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, what do you feel about getting married? And of course, sand was everywhere and it was crazy. But then I had to make her promise not to call or tell anyone.
That was so hard. I'm not calling my mom.
3 days. She couldn't call her mother. She couldn't call her sister. I didn't call anybody. And so we just enjoyed for 3 days while we were down there that we were getting married. And we had so much fun. Oh my God. And then we drove up and got
The day
home.
he-
That was the day, actually.
I'm just sitting there and I took his picture.
Drove to her parents' house, and her dad was watching a John Wayne movie, of course, and I said, can you just put that on hold for just a minute? And her mother was reading, doing crossword in her big chair, and I said, his name was Vernon, and I said, Vernon, how much space you got in this house? And he goes, well, under roof, air conditioned, non-air conditioned. I mean, you want to know all the details. Oh no, let's say under the roof. He goes, well, this is like a 3482 square foot house. And I said, okay, well, how'd you like to get some more room in this house? And he's like, what, like build on? Or he kept asking all these crazy things. I was like, no, I'm thinking of taking your daughter off your hands, and I just wanted to make sure that was okay. And he was like,
What?
wait, what?
But my mom caught on immediately, and she just jumped out of her chair and came over and was hugging us, and
Yeah.
she was all
She was all
Loved
excited.
it.
So that was it.
Now, on to how these two made a life together.
We went, and then so then it progressed, and I was like, let's get married as soon as possible. Now that we've committed, why, how people wait for a year, or, they have to,
It was like 6 months.
6 months. I was like, if we could have done it the next day, I would have. If we had gotten all our friends and family from overseas to be there the next day, I would have done that. But we had to time that out. So within 6 months, we were done.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And then a couple of years later, Miss Richardson came, and that's when the fun begins. Right
The
there.
next adventure.
The next adventure, yeah. So it continues to be an adventure, and the key is to laugh and live. People say you only live once, but that's wrong. You die once. You live every day. So live every day and laugh every day and be happy, because all this other stuff means nothing. You'll make it through. Whether you eat, whether you, all that happens. Everything else means nothing. So basically, that's the short of the
Story of us.
story of us.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Love at the Shore. I'm your host, Tyler Lamb, and have a loving day, Wildcats.
Thanks, Tyler. There will be a fun Mind Care Medics outreach event today during Olive Power Hour. This event is for 9th graders only, with fun activities, pizza, brain gummies, and more. Tickets for Les Miserables are now on sale. Show dates will be from April 17th to the 19th. Volleyball open gym sessions will continue on April 15th, 22nd, and the 30th as well. Thank you to today's sponsor, Zoom and Grumman. We appreciate your support of student journalism and for our production here at WCTZ. And that's a wrap on today's edition of WCTZ News. I'm Evangeline Trezera, and have a thrilling Thursday, Wildcats.